from Enugu State. The Enugu State government's efforts to improve productivity among local governments, council employees are showing positive results, as witnessed during surprise visits to several council headquarters. The state monitoring team noted impressive attendance, indicating that the reorientation of civil servants towards productivity is working. The government is intensifying verification of council workers and implementing electronic and biometric attendance technology to ensure only active workers are on the payroll. The Trade Union Congress chairman urged workers to support the government's development effort, emphasizing the administration commitment to workers' welfare. Overall, there is optimism that these efforts will lead to significant improvement in workers' productivities and contribution to the success of their administration. First of all, I would say this is a good one. You know that people are always complaining that the government is not doing a follow-up. It's not the moment they awarded contracts to people, they don't follow up to know what is going on. That is why a lot of people just keep doing government work as they like. And of course, you have heard stories how teachers don't even go to school, but they are waiting for salary. But go and teach, they don't do it. And then when it's time for salary, you hear them. I mean, everybody's rushing to school because it's government school. Some of them will tell you, oh, it's government school, so I can do it anyhow. But the case in Enugu State is different because they have monitoring team. And you know that these people can come at any time. So everyone is up and doing. What is your take on this story?
It's not something unusual. These are things that we're supposed to be in place. Even here in your organization, there are procedural arrangements to ensure everybody is up and doing, whether at the radio segment of the organization or the TV section, all the departments. Now, more reason why you have supervisors, you have heads of departments, and then everybody has somebody to report to. So you can see in that cluster that you see that everybody will be all doing, and but there again, the attitude in the public sector, particularly in government-owned institutions, down to the very least to local government, you see the attitude of an average civil servant. All apologies, some may want to pick offense with our comments, but basically the truth be told, in government-owned establishments and the kind of attitudinal disposition you will get will be the ones to which, if you don't guard yourself very well, you probably will lose it in your reaction. We had an encounter with some of them in the local council yesterday, and literally the person that was affected in question knew there's this fixated mindset against government officials. You know that during their implementation, the procedure of implementing or servicing notices is very unprofessional, and then the populace also have that fixated, whether it be police, be it NEPA, be it the local council, or anyone that's representing the interest of government. There's this physical altercation and a mindset that is not welcoming at all. So when I look into the matter, I tend to see that the one who is servicing the notice does not know the content of what he is servicing. And then the one to be serviced has a fixated mind of not even accepting anything from the local council. So there was altercation, and a serious altercation. I will slap you, who you are, do you think I am, and all that stuff. So I took my time, collected the notice, and I went through the notice. And I saw that both the giver and the receiver don't even know the content of the, and then I saw the letter was not signed. There was a designation there, nothing. And then you can imagine how that plays out. So in Enugu is the normal. And you know here, when the normal thing is being done, the officers or overseeing person in that space will want him to be praised, to be celebrated because he's doing his job. For crying out loud. This is why you are engaged in the first place, to do your job and get paid. So for me, on a personal note, I would want to commend such effort. But there again, must people be chased up and down before you do that which is expected?
Exactly. That is what I wanted to ask.
You
How
know?
long are they going to do this, to be moving around to monitor people, to do their work?
No, it boils down on the attitudinal and behavioral disposition of everyone. That whether you are being watched or you are being monitored, that which was commissioned into your care to do, are you doing it based on the social engagement upon your appointment? Because upon you applying that I wish to apply so, I promise that I will do so. Well, at the end of the day, once there is no supervisor there, and then you have agents who probably in the system that will want to disabuse or give you a negative orientation. Okay, this is government work. It's not your father's work. So you do it in such a manner. Even if you want to have the intention, you see that the system that has been in place over the years from one generation, as they are retiring, they are handing it over to the newbies. And they are doing government work. You don't rush yourself, you go about your business, don't carry it on your head. They will start giving you instances of those who did it and how their story ended. So it's part of our national life. And the agency saddled with the national orientation and reviving the spirit of patriotism down to the very least in the public service has much to do. And that also, if that is done, and then the leaders also lead by example, and then I think everybody will now begin to accept it. Just like one of the news we probably will take about the mutilation of the Naira note, and suddenly an agency of government has now taken it to ensure that they follow through the law that was signed in 2007, and then you can see how the social media is agog with, hey, why is it because it's a celebrity and all that? So that's the position of the law. The fact that they wake up today and wants to implement it does not imply you can give it any name, witch hunting, whatever. But is that the position of the law? Yes, that's the position of the law. So basically, that's my view with regards to what is going on in Enugu. It's good, and it will yield productivity. It will limit wastages, because when people are not doing what they're supposed to do, you waste manpower, you waste privileges, opportunities, and then it impedes the growth of the state, the economic, particularly in the public sector. People will lose interest and distrust, and of course, all manner of issues that will not bring the due promise of the government to the people. And that's why you see that daily basis faith in the system is dwindled.
All right, thank you. Let's look at the next story for today on education. Some private school teachers in Nigeria, especially in semi-urban areas and low-cost schools, are facing severe economic hardship due to poor remuneration. Many earns between 16,000 and 30,000 monthly, which is below the minimum wage. Despite their qualifications, some teachers are forced to take those jobs due to the lack of better paying opportunities. To make ends meet, many teachers resort to offering extra lessons after schools, which add to their already long work days. The situation has negative implications for education quality, as low salaries can lead to lack of motivation and professionalism among teachers. First of all, the private schools are talking about from the mostly urban areas and those low private schools. And of course, if you look at some of the private schools in question, the students are not even up to 40. All right. So when they're talking about teachers doing extra lesson, which has a way of course, affecting the professionalism of teaching, the quality of education. That is the work of a teacher to start with. But again, is it something that should make its way to headlines? Because you don't expect me to pay you more than what I earn. You don't expect me to give you, if I can't have 30 students in school, a whole school, I have 30 students, and you are expecting me to pay you 100,000. All right? Is it something to really break head on?
Well, if you look at that story in details, there are a lot of angles to it. Number one, it reflects the nation, the state of our national life. It also tells us that aside the urban centers where we are and major cities, there are communities that the searchlights or the floodlight may not be able to beam, and how the economic life is. Um, I think the Association of Private School Owners chairman also said in the latter part of that report that no school under their association pays less than 30,000 naira. But there again, the aspect of our concern with the report is that that's what is obtainable there, because an account of 3 or 4 persons that was interviewed during the process of filing the report has it that in their immediate environment, some of these places are suburbs of Lagos, where cost of transportation is very high. From you to move on to that end, some will tell you that they probably get a job, a paying job of 50,000 naira, and in a month you are spending almost 45,000 naira or 40,000 naira on transportation. It does not make economic sense as far as that fellow is concerned. So some of them resort to some school within their neighborhood that the average they pay is 30,000, 20,000, very low of 16,000 naira. And the number of classes they take, JSS1 to JSS3, and then they take 2-3 subjects, and after school, some of them close 3 p.m., maybe 3:30, and they will now do lessons just to keep body and soul together. It's majority of these teachers are graduates, according to the reports, graduates, and it's because of their inability of securing a better paying job. Make them to resort to, okay, teaching. At least if I have my education and I study education related courses, and the much I can do within my immediate environment at the end of the month, a particular account during the report has it that she resigned from a 20,000 naira paying job on account of the fact that the salary was not regular. So implying that, how do you now expect them? So a whole lot of is showing the states of the economy. Is also showing the humanity against human, to itself, and it is also available based on what is available. It is what is available now become the desirable. Why? Because you can't stay aloof and not meet your needs. And, the bills are there to be, taken care of. And who will take care of your bill? And somebody will always say you must at least do something.
So if we have majority of qualified teachers in some of the schools that are not being paid well, majority, is it that most of the schools are employing the minority being employed are not qualified, and then they just do this because they want to get manpower, not necessary for the quality of education? What exactly is actually going on there? Because I can imagine a professional teacher, if you go through the story very well, a lot of them actually lamented, and they are all qualified teachers. They are working in this kind of place, and you just make mention, of course, like they stated here, that some of them have to look at the proximity and also the expenses, transportation and all of those. So those in schools that are being paid well, who are they?
You may not be able to, come in terms with those kind of details, but on account of the reports that is presented that we are commenting on, that's just what was offered. However, it tells us straight away the kind of the quality of the education that the children within that corridor will be having. And then you also look at a system to say that seems to have been corrupt. Corrupt in the sense that whatever they give, they know at the end of the day when they are doing the final major or the major exams, certain kickbacks will probably be permitted, you know, and they say, look, irrespective of your preparatory for this exam, as the case may be, you still need to grease. And some of these people, you know, the system is also, you know, stifling that people do have the intention to do, you know, that which is correct or right. But there again, the enabling environment is not there. So considering the plight of those teachers, telling you that to have a quality education is expensive, and it is private owned schools, and you know the owners are there to make profit, and then they want to limit expense to maximize profit. So if one teacher crying foul, and all that, the economic downward trend and the crunch, economic bite is making life difficult. We are trying to just make do with what we have and all that stuff. So it is a cluster, and I feel for those teachers because it seems as if there is no alternative, well, you know, in the coffin for them to explore.
I think it's high time we have a monitoring team that should go around schools to find out if indeed those schools they have professional teachers, because there was an issue that came up some days back where someone went to give testimony and the least construction of English was a problem. So I think it's high time they checkmate all of this, because this is the image of Nigerians. We can't actually have a school, I mean, you just graduate, and at the end of the day, nothing to show for it.
Across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Dr. Richard Somari, a forensic expert in the alleged murder trials of Chidinma Ojoko, testified that the DNA blood sample found on Chidinma's red dress matched that of the victim, Michael Ataga. Somari, who works with the Lagos State
DNA samples and a sampling of this thing. The fact that the blood of the deceased was actually found, the blood on Chidimas, that's the accused, was found. The blood of the deceased was found on the shirt of the.
Hello, Barrister, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. For the benefit, let's clear the public. Of course, we know that Chidinma Ojoko, the key suspect in the murder of
what's the next? This is just one piece of evidence among others, and the prosecution actually tendered it in evidence, and the court accepted it, and now it's left for courts to decide. Forensic evidence is actually an evidence that carries so much weight, and I believe that it's definitely going to be an evidence that the courts will not overlook in judgment.
Then how does this
strength of the prosecutors presenting this particular thing, and the ability of Chidima's lead team to either disprove it or maybe point towards another direction will determine the weight that will be attached to it by the court.
All right, and the case has been adjourned till May, so we hope that, well, let's wait to see the outcome. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And now let's move to the next story for today. On Naira abuse. Pascal Ogochukwu, also known as Cubana Chief Priest, has been detained by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and is said to be aligned before the High Court in Lagos. He faces charges related to abusing the nation's currency, especially spraying and stamping with 500 notes at social events, which is contrary to the Central Bank Act of 2007. The EFCC has clarified that it will focus on investigating and prosecuting new cases of Naira abuse. And the news getting to us now is that the Federal High Court in Lagos has granted the businessman, of course, Pascal Ogochukwu, popularly known as Cubana Chief Priest, that is a 10 million bail with 2 shorties in like sum. Mr. Wells, already you know that one of the celebrities, as Bobrisky, is already behind the priest as being granted a bail of 10 million with 2 shorties and like sum. But I'm looking at, because they are saying that according to EFCC, it doesn't matter when it happened, but as long as the video of you is out there and they are carrying out the investigation, you would definitely go for it. And this Central Bank Act law came out since 2007. And I'm wondering, since 2007 till now, nothing was done about it. These things actually went on. Some of them actually committed this crime 5 years ago. Can't they just let those ones go and then concentrate on the new ones that are actually coming out? Because according to the report we had yesterday, that they would definitely keep those videos not to impersonate them, but also to use it and monitor them. So what do you think about the EFCC's action at this moment?
Right, let's get some things straight or clear. Chief Priest Cubana's incident starts off sometimes in January at a hotel, and it's also similar thing was also carried out sometimes late last year, I think around November or October. Now, the SEC in their full press release appreciated some old videos finding its way to the internet space for it to take action. However, the spokesperson of the SEC appreciated that. However, their main focal attention will be on most recent videos to see how persons who are found culpable in abusing the naira will be invited, and upon investigation they will be arraigned. So the fact that it is we dated back 27, the first bank, the Central Bank Act, is neither here or here. You know, there's this popular saying that there's no ignorance in law. I want to cite that my experience yesterday when we challenged those who came to serve demand notices for sanitation within the local government space, and then we place reference to the fact that this money was also paid last year, and it's supposed to, be a one-off thing. And then the response one of the officials said was that it is a new administration. And then because it's a new administration, even if it is late last year you did that, the gone administration has gone. So we have the new one, so therefore, I said that's not correct. That's not correct. And that's not how the law runs. And if you have to do that, there will be a gazette to that effect in policy modification that everybody will be sensitized on the need, to adhere to the new rules. Except if what you people are doing, you want to be shrouded in secrecy, you not want to enlighten the public, and then you now wait till you get an offender, and then you probably want to punish or prosecute, as the case may be. So in this instance, was there any law against naira abuse? Yes. What are there consequences if caught in the act? Yes. Just as we said earlier on, that because you have to make certain special moves to monitor people to doing their job. And then when matters like this, particularly at this time, if you look through the internet, you will see, witch hunting, a bad beef, one way of getting, the point. Yes, those are sideline narrative, but there again, it still doesn't invalidate the action of the EFCC to carry out some of these, for it to respect its currency and not abuse it. So it's a call that will stir attention expectedly. However, whether the agency is doing its job or not, the point remains that if you are caught and culpable, there are consequences.
Was there any law? Yes, there was, concerning naira abuse. Were there leaders? Yes. Do we still have leaders? Yes. Did they do something about it? No. So if the law was there, let's say it was dormant, nobody did anything about it, and then they just suddenly came up late last year and began to implement the law, why would they why would they arrest those that committed a crime? Are you aware that majority of Nigerians might not know about this?
I'm aware of the law. I'm speaking for myself.
Okay, for yourself.
Because I remember the way then when it was promulgated, it was a public cause of discourse that there are sections of the country where their party activity is not completed without displaying naira, so implying that they might just want to plant their agents virtually at every...
So, Mr. Wells, why do you think they kept quiet all this while? They didn't do anything about it?
Anyway, I'm not the spokesperson of the FCC. As I said, the fact that the law might not take what is expected. You know, these laws are implemented by political will. I just want to take it as the new sheriff. There's a new sheriff in town, and that person is the new chairman of the ESCC. If nabbing the politicians is a tough call and an uphill task to come by, okay, let us look at some basic. Begin to do all those simple one to create a public stare in the direction that ESCC has some teeth sharp enough to do some biting.
Well, we hope that after this administration, they won't go back to a cold mood. They will continue to, tackle these issues so that at least Nigerians will respect their own currency. I would do, Mr. Well, to do too.
Don't reject the currency that is sprayed in any fora, in any gathering. Just reject it so that you will not be found wanting.
Oh, wow. Did you hear that? If you're a celebrant and someone spray your money, reject it. Don't take it so that you will not,
So you'll be on record that you rejected it.
You rejected the money because you were not happy. Oh, amazing. So we are here to remind you again that spraying of money, stamping on it, writing something, forwarding it, rough handling it is punishable by law. CBN Act 2007. If you do that, you will go to 6 years. Is it 6 years,
6
right?
months.
6 months in prison.
Minimum.
And pay a fine of 50,000 or better still boots. So you have to respect yourself. Respect is reciprocal. Thank you so much, Mr. Wells, for today's.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I do appreciate, and thank you, our viewers, for always staying by. I am Immaculata Irikana. If you miss out in any of the stories, you can join us on all our media platforms: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network; Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Good afternoon.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human
on the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their
So no agreement with the EU, but